The man had just taken off his shirt when he sensed someone behind him, someone out to kill him. A screwdriver was already aimed at his back. He turned around casually and said, "Either leave or do it already." The bearded attacker laughed, but before he could make a move, the man struck first, stabbing him in the shoulder. Then came a whip-like roundhouse kick, a block punch combo, a flying foot to the chest. A flurry of brutal moves flowed effortlessly. In seconds, they were all laid out on the floor. After that, nobody in the prison dared mess with him again. Once he got out, he checked into a motel. Not far from there, an underground fighting ring was offering big payouts, thousands, sometimes tens of thousands of dollars, if you could win. But if you lost, he scoped things out in secret. At the moment, a lanky cowboy was facing off against a 300-pound wall of muscle. The cowboy was backed by a guy named Lee. The musclehead was bankrolled by a local thug named James. Before the match started, Lee told the cowboy to rely on speed and agility. But once they got in the ring, it became painfully clear. Against overwhelming power, technique meant nothing. The cowboy's punches felt like they were hitting steel. In contrast, he got knocked down like a rag doll. Moments later, the muscle man straddled him and began unloading brutal punches. No finesse, just pure violence. Seeing his fighter on the verge of death, Lee reluctantly called off the match and lost 10 grand to James. Defeated, Lee slumped back into his car, only to find the man from earlier suddenly sitting in the back seat. Startled, Lee pulled a gun, but the man said he wanted to be Lee's new fighter. He'd take down the 300-pound brute and help Lee win it all. Lee laughed. "I don't even know who you are. Sounds like a good way to lose more money. That guy doesn't fight nobodies." In response, the man handed Lee $300 as a show of good faith. If he won, they'd split the earnings 60-40. Lee, having no other options, reluctantly agreed and brought the man back to the fight venue. They approached another sponsor. This one's fighter wasn't a pushover either. The match began. Both men squared up. 2 hits. That's all it took. The fight was over. Lee was stunned. This guy was the real deal. The next day, Lee returned with him, betting $5,000 on the new fighter. The bald promoter took the bet immediately. Once the fight started, the opponent opened with a flurry of light jabs. The man spotted an opening, slipped to the side, and landed a devastating punch. Game over. Lee was ecstatic. He could take on 2 at once, he shouted. Baldy took it literally and sent 2 fighters to ambush him. One sidekick, a judo throw, and an armbar later, you could hear the crack as bones snapped. Suddenly, Baldy started playing dirty. He stashed the prize money and called in his crew. But what he didn't realize was, none of it would make any difference.